Okay, YouTube, today we are replacing a backup camera that I've had for a long time. I've got it hooked up to an app radio 2. I've had intermittent use of it because it just flat out doesn't work. It's wired, and I'm trying a new product from eRapta. And pretty simple process. Oh, my dog's trying to photo bomb here, so bear with me. Hey, quiet. This is pretty generic. We're talking 2 screws. And this is a kind of a unique camera. Most of these are wired and most of them require hookup. This one is completely wireless. It has a battery in it that lasts a year, if you can believe that. It also has a USB connection or a C port on it that can be hooked up to a charger, and you can charge it back up after it loses its strength. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to fast forward through this part because you don't need to see this and how I hooked up my old one. But it's pretty simple. RCA cables. Here we go. Back on. Finding bolts in the driveway, gravel driveway, is always fun. Alright. It's kind of covering up my tab, so hopefully we won't get a ticket for that. Well, that was a windy day. Rollover of my tripod. One thing I really like about this setup is that I can put this camera on the back of my motorhome, and the monitor that comes with this camera is just plugs into your cigarette lighter or any USB connection with the C port, and I can put this on the back of my motorhome and have visibility to my Toad or my bikes that I'm carrying on the back of my motorhome now. So I'll show you the e-bike setup and how I have those on a pretty neat bike rack that I have on a future video. But why isn't this going in? Huh. It should be fairly simple here. It's giving me some grief. Okay, inside the car next. Alright, I'm inside the truck now, and hooking up the back piece took me literally a couple minutes. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the real time for hooking this thing up and getting it going. So here we go. Okay, I have mounted the monitor mount on the windshield. I tried it on the dash and it's too rough, so I'm going to get one of those little metal pads like I have in my motorhome, to mount that on because I don't really want it on the dash or on the windshield, I don't think. So we will see. I also don't like a cord hanging up that far. I have plugged into my cigarette lighter with a C-port adapter. And let me set this camera down and I'll plug the monitor in and see what we get. Here's the monitor. It's got this nice little pad that goes on that thing in the windshield. C-port, here we go. So, okay, we got power. We got lines. There's my trailer. It's hooked up, it's ready to go. Now, I've read the instructions, and if you go through the up, down, and then menu, you can get to adding the lines or subtracting them. You can do a mirror image and flip it. You can change the brightness. You can do a variety of things. But this, to me, is just about as good as it gets for backing up cameras. So I'm good to go, other than setting it down on my dash so it's closer to the wire. Very impressed. Good visual. So another setting on the menu screen is the ability to keep it on for a certain length of time. So I'll adjust that and play with it as I need it. I might leave it on all the time just so that I can see the tongue, especially when I put it on the back of my motorhome, so that I can make sure that the e-bikes are not rattling around too much. So yet to be determined. For this, I am very pleased with the product, the simplicity of hooking it up, and I will be doing probably a month down the road, I'm going to do a follow-up video on how it's working and if it's a problem. My other one that was wired, I would give it probably, I don't know, half a dozen times and it would work fine, and then all of a sudden the polarity of it, something changed on the settings, which I never played with, so I don't know why it would change it, but something changed on the settings that would allow that to not work. So I'm just tired of it. This one may be the same problem, but I don't think so. It's so simple, so Bluetooth. Technology has advanced. The price is a little bit more than what I paid for the wired one, but when you get the monitor and the simplicity of it, makes up for that. So highly recommend this as a purchase for you, and I'm happy with it for me. Take care. See you on the next video.